All right, I'm Sergeant Moreno with the Capel Police Department, here to talk to you now about THC and the epidemic. It seems like it's starting to spread around in the community and at all the schools. One of the big things as far as the students don't understand is the legal implications that it's going to face and carry on with them for the rest of their lives due to the fact with them having it and bringing it onto campus, because it's not just like regular marijuana. These are now felonies, which can get you in trouble with the school district, get you kicked out, and can also get you landed in jail. We have now had, I think, 12 to 13 students just in this school year who've had it, and that's just the ones we've been able to catch. Pretty sure there's still more that are out there because of how easily it is for them and readily available for them to get. There's been some where you can get it on Twitter. You just need to message somebody and they'll talk to somebody in Colorado and ship it down here. You can do the same thing from California. And THC is very, very bad. They may think that it's just marijuana, but it's not, because if you look it up on YouTube, you'll see how it's made. You use butane. It's not just marijuana. There's a whole chemical process to get it, which makes it 99.5 to 99.9% pure, which will get you at a higher level fast and cause you, if you're driving, possibly have an accident, harm somebody else in an accident. We've seen some kids where they don't know what's going on. They have just some reverse effect to them, and they have to be taken to the hospital because we don't know what's happening to them. They start getting paranoid, and this is something that we really need parents to start looking into. It's different than vaping. THC cartridges, if one way you can check them out is they can't be refilled. Check on those, because if they can't be refilled and it looks like a thick little wax inside of it, that's not a vape. But at the same time, vaping's not good either, because of the fact of, one cartridge of a vape juice is almost like having, 200 puffs or cigarettes. And kids are going through these faster, and we don't know what the reverse side effects are just yet, because obviously that's a chemical that you're putting into your system. One of the other things as far as what kids need to understand is the fact of they may not be able to go to college if they get a felony put onto their record. They have problems later on trying to get a job, get loans. And the big thing, which for all the parents, it's going to cost a lot of money, because you're going to have to get an attorney, you're going to have to deal with all the resetting, and that is not cheap, all because they want to try and do something that they don't need to be doing. We need to just get the word out there that they need to stop this and stop buying it, stop purchasing it. It's not good for them, it's not good for their health, and we don't want to see kids getting in trouble. But they need to stop, and it seems to just keep growing and getting worse.
So, in looking at the educational implications, it would be a mandatory expulsion if a student is caught with THC wax or the oil. It is a mandatory expulsion to JJAEP, which is our Juvenile Justice Educational Center in Dallas County. And the reason for that is because this actually carries a felony charge. And so even though it's very easy to get, it's very discreet when they're using it. They take a puff here or there. It is extremely potent. Even the marijuana that students are using these days is 275% more potent than 10 years ago. And there's a lot of things that contribute to that.
All the fertilizers, the states that have legalized it, where they're growing it, they're putting a lot of money to whatever fertilizers they want to get, the feed, the things they're putting into the plant and the soil and the ground, which is getting into it. It's not making it, it's not good. It's a chemical compound that it's creating, and that's making this more potent, and it causes issues more with the kids. And we just want to see that stop, because we don't want anything to happen. Again, the mandatory expulsion, which is the big thing. You're not going to have your friends around anymore. You're going to be going to school somewhere else. Some of the things to always look at, again, sometimes the vape or the actual THC jewel, when they're smoking out of it, it's been mixed with something else, so you may not smell the actual THC part of it to actually hold the whole entire jewel, and then you can smell marijuana. But they're learning to mix it up to where it's a sweet grapey taste or something different. So you may just think that it's just a jewel that they're just vaping and it's not bad for them. So that's something to really look into.
So some of the signs, let's talk about some of the signs of if you think your child might be vaping or using a dab pen. And a dab pen has a bulb instead of a cartridge. It looks a little different, and that's the oil. Vape juice is very
It's like liquidy.
liquidy. It's fluid, and whereas the wax looks like wax,
thicker.
and it's really
Almost
thick.
like a honey. It's a goldish color and it barely moves through that jewel. It's got to heat up pretty good. That's why a lot of times some of these may blow up if they're putting THC inside a vape. It has to get hot. So it's some of the things where they don't need to be doing that, because there's other implications aside from just that to where it can cause a lot of significant harm.
And here in Coppell ISD, we are very concerned and dedicated to every child's wellness, and we want to make sure that all of our students and parents know that there are several implications if your child or you as a student are caught with any of these items, and it's possessing or using, distributing. If I have a vape or I have a dab pen and I pass it to Miss Freeman, then I am, contributing to her, and so that even raises it as well. So you want to make sure that you are very educated when it comes to the implications, especially when it comes to college admissions. You may not get into a specific college that's your choice. So make sure that the decisions you make today, that you know that they directly affect where you're going to be tomorrow. And we are here to help and assist in any way. Another thing, if you would like to drug test your children, Ms. Freeman, can you talk about that a little bit?
So the Assistance League of Coppell has generously provided every school resource officer with free drug test kits. You can get it directly through the Assistance League, or you can go to your campus's school resource officer directly, and you can ask for a drug test kit. The Coppell Police Department also has a few available. So there are many places where you can utilize this free resource. It's an excellent tool. Students, you can always use "my parents randomly drug test me" as an excuse to get out of anything.
Another thing that we are doing as a school district is that we are trying to get the word out and educate our students and parents. We've had several speakers this year come and explore the myths around both vaping and marijuana and THC. And so we want to make sure that you are able to access that information. We have those videos uploaded on our site. Another thing we are doing is we have purchased wands, security wands, metal detective wands for our secondary campuses, and those will detect our vapes and dab pens when we have to search a student. Another thing is that we will have some devices that we will be placing in the restrooms and locker rooms throughout secure locations, that when there is an organic compound that comes together, it will alert administration that there is a vape in use or a dab pen in use. So those are coming. We are trying to take steps in order to keep our kids safe. And so we want to partner with you and just make sure that you also have that education.
For more information regarding school safety and security, go to www.coppellisd.com/safety. If you have any suggestions on other areas of concern, please email us at input@coppellisd.com.